What's up everybody, welcome back to the second episode of Life of Briller. And today in this video I actually wanted to go back to the story of how I became interested in Italian and ultimately why I chose Italian as a language. So as you know, I'm gonna be making these videos in English. I'm gonna try to keep them short, maybe between 5 and 10 minutes long, and there's not gonna be much editing in this video. So let's go ahead and get started. So guys, I actually studied Spanish for 4 years in high school, and after 4 years of speaking Spanish, I feel like I didn't get too far. I never practiced it on my own. I had no Spanish friends. It was only something that I had to do in school, and it definitely was not something that I did like for fun outside of school. So I did that for 4 years in high school, and then I went to college. When I got to excuse me. When I got to college, I decided that I was gonna study journalism, and every student that studies journalism has to study 2 years of a foreign language. So I was sitting there and I was like, wow, what language do I want to study? Do I want to continue learning Spanish, a language that I've already studied for 4 years and I haven't gotten that far? Or do I want to kind of start fresh with a new language? And as you guys all know, I ended up deciding Italian. So as I was sitting there in the advisor's office looking at literally a list of like 200 languages, I could have chosen any of those languages, including Spanish. So there had to be a reason why I decided Italian. I want to choose Italian. So I think the reason I actually decided Italian goes back to way before that moment, back when I was just a little boy growing up in Colorado. I remember my mom used to always tell me that she kind of dreamt of going to Florence and like seeing Italy, and when I used to hear her talk about this, I was just so curious, and I was wondering like, what is it about Italy that's so interesting and magical? So even from a young age, I started getting this curiosity and this interest, or like the belief that Italy is this incredibly majestic, like fairy tale type world. And so I began getting more and more fascinated with it. Also, you guys should even realize, like in my neighborhood in Colorado, in my area, there's 3 neighborhoods. My neighborhood is called Greenfield, but then there's 2 neighborhoods right by it, and they're called Tuscany and Siena. Already 2 of the 3 are like these Italian named, influenced names. So I was like, what is it about this Italy place? Everyone's always talking about Italian food. You see the Italian flag everywhere. You see stuff written in Italian for restaurants and food. Italian wine, pasta, pizza, all that stuff. Italian culture is just like so prominent, not prominent, but so like present in America. So living this life all these years thinking like, gosh, Italy seems amazing. Like you just start thinking about Italy as like this luxurious place. If you add the word Italy onto anything like Italian this, it automatically makes it seem like it's this luxurious product. Like if you could have just carpet, or you could have Italian carpet. You could have a jacket, or you could have an Italian jacket. Always adding just the Italian adjective on top of something made it seem like it was this amazing luxurious item or product. So for all these reasons, I was starting to think like, gosh, Italy must just be like this fantastic, amazing place. So this is kind of the influence I had growing up more and more and more. And I remember like I just was fascinated with Italy. And I remember I went to my advisor's office that day, and I was thinking like, do I want to start over with a language and kind of start fresh, something new? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, well, I've been studying Spanish for 4 years now. Maybe if I learn Italian, it will also be even a little bit easier for me, because Spanish and Italian are similar. But the main reason is for all the stuff I listed. Like Italy just seems so interesting, and it seems like something I really want to learn. And just, I remember the idea of me just actually being able to speak the language of the Italians seemed so special to me. And it was really like this passion and this fascination for Italy that drove me to just keep learning Italian more and more and more. And guys, really that's the simplest way. Of course there's a lot more deeper details and a lot more reasoning I could go into, but that's the gist of it. That's the simple reasoning. So I hope you guys kind of understand why I chose Italian, because I get the question so much, like, why did you choose Italian? So I hope that's part of it. It's just the fascination of Italy, the Italian culture being part of American culture. The language sounds beautiful, all this Italian influence in my mind growing up as a boy. So that's kind of why I chose Italian. So in the next video, I'll continue this story and I'll tell you guys about what happened once I started learning Italian and how I actually went from being a terrible student at the start to being the best student in the class and getting just A+ on every single test. So I'll save that for next episode. But guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy my English. I hope everyone can understand me out there. To all my family back home and all my friends, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out all my social network sites, Facebook, Twitter, which is my strongest recommendation, and ultimately you should check out my Patreon page. If you like what I'm doing, if you like where I'm going with this channel, you can give me a hand. You can even throw €1 or $1 American my way. It would go a long way, longer than you expect. So guys, I'll end it right there. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. This is Briller saying peace.